Hello, hello, everyone. Thanks for dropping in. This is Positive Vibes with Ariel, brought to you by Body, Mind, Soul, TV and Media Network. And I have that joy to bring to you today my fast friend and Pilates instructor, Olivera. Now, she was the first person that introduced me to Pilates, actually doing Pilates. I was familiar with the exercise form, but I went to one of her introductions, and as soon as it was over, I said, "Sign me up." And I have been like a fiend ever since, going to all the classes. And Olivera is still one of my favorite instructors. So I asked her to come on today to the podcast to tell her a little bit about what got her excited about Pilates and why she does the work that she does. So Olivera, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Ariel, for having me on. I'm excited.
Great. So I would love for you to just share with myself and the audience a little bit about your background. What brought you into Pilates and what made you decide to pursue this career or that line of work?
So I've been an active person, and when I was young, I danced. I did, the jazz and ballet and acrobatics. And then when I went to college, I danced, but a lot less, and I sat and read a lot more. And then I was stage managing a play, and I jumped up and down in these heeled boots, and I landed, and I couldn't stand up, and I was stuck on the stage. Like curtains dropped. It was like an end of the time bow. We were having a party afterwards for this production. It was like it was a play called The Weird Acts, and I was being carried to the bathroom. Like I had to get on a cooler, and I couldn't move, and I thought I was paralyzed. I had no idea what had happened to me. And I was in college. So the next day I went to the doctor. Like I got carried into the doctor's. It happened to be my birthday also. I was turning 23.
Oh my
And
God.
and the doctor gave me Vicodin and Valium and scared the crap out of me. He told me that because it happened once, it'll happen again. And it probably won't be better for like another 12 weeks. I'm like, I have to graduate in 6 weeks. And he really did me, if that was my treatment plan forever, then I don't know what I would be
I
now.
can't imagine being 23 and being handed a bunch of Vicodin and just being told good luck. I mean, that's I can't imagine. Well, I can because I have my own story of why I got into the healing arts as well. But this is just so interesting to me. And I'm so glad that things have changed. So what happened? I mean, what did you do after you were doped up on Vicodin and wandering what
Well,
around?
so I started working in biotech
Hmm.
afterwards, after graduating, and my back still hurt, and I was still getting drugs and
Sitting more, probably.
more sitting. It was an 8-hour assay. We were using monoclonal antibodies in some type of therapeutic way. It was like clinical trials and stuff, and they weren't very successful back then. I don't know how they are now, but now they're finally coming out. But back then it was dismal, And what I found out was that hypnotherapy had just as good a success rate at curing certain kinds of cancers as these therapies that were being thrown money. There was a lot of funding and everything. These fully human antibodies coming from mice and stuff like that. And I just decided one day I'm going to go to New York, and I went to New York and did more dance. I was out of shape. I decided to move back, and once I moved back, just by chance, I started working at a gym. It was a guy who decided to open either a liquor store or a gym, and
Lucky for you,
and
he that he got the gym, right?
and at that point, I was very glad I did. Yeah, and so like the exercise, I thought I should get like a Nobel Prize because I was like, wow, I can cure my pain with exercise. Like nobody ever told me, It's like And so then eventually I found that Pilates was like a precision tool for spinal manipulation. And it just like haphazard once a week Pilates for 1 hour cured my back pain. I mean, it didn't cure everything, you know, because I still had to, you know, adjust and learn about my body and, you know, all these things that I, you know, was in college for and everything, but didn't learn there, you know. But yeah, and
Yeah,
so then Pilates got me and I love it. Yeah. And
that's
so then
wonderful.
I went on. Yeah.
What a story. You know, I when I came to Pilates, when I have witnessed Pilates, I knew of Pilates. My undergraduate work was in theater arts, and I knew about Pilates from my dance classes, and I knew about the story of Joseph Pilates a little bit. And then later on, as a massage therapist and hypnotherapist, by the way, um, I just I saw or witnessed Pilates always in a therapeutic setting. I didn't even know it was really like exercise, like it was an exercise thing, because to me it was back recovery, like it was more in the realm of physical therapy. Because I worked at a physical therapy center where we rehabilitated golfers. It was a it was a golf physical therapy center. They had Pilates and everything, and I worked side by side with them as a massage therapist there. So the context of my head was that it was a healing modality, right? And I have to say, Olivera, you inspired me, and the other instructors at Club Pilates. We'll give them the plug here on the podcast. But inspired me because it hadn't occurred to me before that it was like exercise. I guess I knew it went side by side with yoga in some people's minds. But yeah, I just had a different experience with it. And I have to tell you, I kind of made fun of myself on social media because I started going to your classes, Olivera, once a week. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going every week. All right, yay me. Because exercise, I wasn't, yeah, like I'll go dance for hours if I'm doing a show. Like, yeah, it's a different motivation in your mind, like something different that you're doing. I'll work on 10 clients in a day, but to like get up and go exercise, like I'm like, I would, you don't know how many, well, you probably get or have heard of people that get gym memberships and then don't do anything, you know. I mean, there have been times when I was really a gym rat, actually, but it was because it was something. Yeah, there was some sort of different focus or some sort of different motivator. So I have not been able to find that, and I just had so much fun doing Pilates. It was fun. And at first, I mean, Olivera will attest to this. I didn't know my left from my right, my proprioception. I was like, what did you say? You want us to raise what up where? And it only took a couple weeks so I started to get the hang of things. And then I started doing more classes. And then pretty soon I had a goal, like they have a little app, and I had a goal of doing 2 classes a week. So after a few weeks, it was pretty easy for me to do it. And then my body was just waking up and driving me there. I had very little to do with it because my body just really liked it. And I think, Olivera, and I think you'll back me up on this, it is that spinal flexion. It's the spinal and abdominal core muscles and getting that juice out of there, you know, not the synovial fluid in the joints, but the issues in the tissues, like just moving the movement to cleanse the body, right? And to lubricate the body. My body loved it and just kept driving me there. Then it was 4 times a week. And then you guys, I have to share with you, then I go up to Olivera and I'm like, I did something really stupid. And I think she thought maybe I was going to say I injured myself or something like that. But I said, I did something really stupid. I signed up for Pilates teacher training. And so I'm still going, and now I have I just feel so humbled to be able to watch everybody's classes as part of my training, to observe and watch. I understand it, I appreciate it. And from the healing perspective, I mean, listen up, people. This woman healed her back spasms, right? My body woke up. and drove me to Pilates. Like, what is that about? Didn't drive me to Starbucks on that day. No, drove me to Pilates class. And I kept going and I just kept feeling better. Now, the reason I'm spending so much time here is because I know, Olivera, you also have a background in marriage and family counseling. So can you tell me where you connected the dots between the mental health part and the healing yourself and being able to walk in your life?
Well, yeah. So then I worked at that gym, like a small gym. I mean, I worked at several gyms. You called yourself a gym rat. I've hung out with all the gym rats, and I love the gyms. I call it
That was
gym
many years ago for me, by the way.
But yeah, so I would get like a cohort of in the daytimes women that were kind of like empty nesters, and they'd have the mild to moderate depression, and I kind of wanted to work with them and work with mild to moderate depression and exercise and put them together because so my undergrad was in biopsych, which was more like physiologically based psychology. It's where, when you're hungry, these hormones come out and things like, like more, these are your neural circuits and stuff. But this, I wanted to have a practice eventually where I do work with people on their mood and bring exercise into their life. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it worked for me. I'll tell you that. We talk a lot about mental health here on the show because I think it's important, especially right now with these weird times. Right? I think that people are having like re-entry kind of stress after we've been disassociated from each other. Right? Not to mention our bodies and zooming for hours upon hours, right? It's just crazy.
I
Well,
mean, if you talk about stress and its effect on the immune system, like mental stress, chronic mental stress, and the depletion that goes on in the immune system, like, there is so much of a need for people to get active, and this has just been, completely isolating us and everything. But there's like also a positive effect of just being happy that is produced by your immune system. Your immune system works better when you get happy. It's like these other hormones come out, and it's. I mean, to me, it's just been ignored completely. Mental health on our physical health, and I think it plays a much bigger role. It's not going to be something that is very well researched because like to bring people happiness, how much money is there in that when there can be drugs for sale, so yeah.
yeah, don't get me started. You're in the right place with this line of thinking for sure, for sure. Well, if any of our listeners are feeling like Pilates might be something that they would like to try, if you suffer from mild depression, and we talk so much about self-care and self-healing, for me that my body waking up and driving me to Pilates, like that was, it was not, I didn't have that argument inside of my head because I just felt better and wanted to continue going. Right? It wasn't that woulda, coulda, shoulda, or beating myself up mentally. I just really enjoyed it. And I hope that all of our listeners can, find something that gets you moving. What is that quote from Joseph Pilates, Olivera? Besides, you're only as old as your spine, right? That take that in, everybody. You're only as old as your spine. So
well, there's another disconnect as far as like our our neural signals from our brain to all of our organs. That's got to be and then our digestion works better when your spine's in alignment. Like chiropractors would know this, and it's so. But the thing about Pilates is the feeling you get afterwards is not like a workout. It's more like a massage. Like after you're done with your Pilates class, your body feels more fluid, more relaxed. The breathing is my main thing. It really, the mechanics of breathing. I really think if people were to do more breathing, we would be able to, get less stress when we have all these stressful influences around us, you know.
Yeah, because the stressful influences are not going to go away.
Right.
Yeah, the world is there to stay, everybody.
Yeah, there will always be, and stress, you know, and stress is good. Exercise wouldn't exist without stress. You know, stress is part of growing. You know, we don't grow without it. But yeah, how to deal with it as it comes to us.
I want to back up right there. You know, after I get finished with Pilates, I have like endorphin boost. I'm just like woo, like I am really energized, and I like to do it earlier in the day. For me is good because then that gets when I come home from Pilates, I get so much done. And I can and I don't want to sit down. Like I don't. I'm open. My energy is opened up, and I'm thriving at that point. So I'm saying this for everybody out there who, if they're feeling a little curmudgeon-y after all of the lockdown and the weird stuff that it's safe. Come out and play, do Pilates. If you live in the Bay Area here in San Jose, California, come do Pilates with Olivera, and just do something. I was describing to one of my coach friends, I said, for me, my commitment is to my own self-care. I mean, it really is the business that I'm in, because the better I can be, the better I can be of service. You know, I'm a caretaker and a healer, so the better I can be of service, the better I take care of me. So putting myself first. And I feel like Pilates, even though I'm doing group classes, it feels like I call it the temple of the soul, of the self. There, we're really just like there to compete with the self and to be with the self and to learn about the self. And bless your heart, Olivera, that it's your work to help people do that self exploration and empower their own self-healing process.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teachers might be more like drill sergeants, whereas like for me, it's always like if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, I'm not going to force you. You know, and I find that, you know, people who want to do it, they really everybody like, you know, that they want to do it. They want to make themselves better. They want to improve. They want to do that extra rep. You know, I don't have to like be like, oh, go, go, you know. I see people get stronger and taller all the time, like literally half an inch from no Pilates to Pilates. People are like guaranteed to grow half an inch, like because their spine is going to lengthen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Olivera, I want to say it while I'm on the air. I know you've heard this story before. I get so excited. So I have a massage client, and I probably see him twice a month, always once a month, sometimes twice a month. And one time he came in, and this must have been last September or October, but he came in and I'm like, what have you done? His chest was open and he has scoliosis. He's very, very active tennis player, great shape, older gentleman, really doing well. But there was such a shift in his energy. I'll talk energy. I'll talk woo woo for a moment. His crown was open. His chest and his heart was expanded and open, and he just looked really empowered and much taller and much more open, walking into his session. And I'm like, did you go get a massage before your session today? Like coming to get his massage. And he says, no, I did Pilates the last 3 weeks. So he had been to three sessions, everybody. 3 sessions, and I've been working with his body for a long time. And he looks great when he leaves, and we have a great therapeutic relationship like that. But I noticed the change in him, the subtle energy, and the postural shift. It was very exciting stuff. So
Anybody can do it. And that's the thing is I've worked with people who are missing limbs. I've worked with people who, you know, just have like one leg 2 inches shorter than another, you know, like scoliosis all the time. You know, like we all probably have a little undiagnosed scoliosis anyway, you know, a little curve in the spine, you know, and anybody can do it. It's great. It's like you can lay down on your back, you can do Pilates.
I love it. Olivera, thank you so much for taking some time. I know you're super busy with all of your classes and you're a very private person, so thank you so much for coming and doing our show today. If our audience is in love with everything that you're saying here and wants to get a hold of you, is there anywhere that they can reach out to you?
I'd like them to just email me directly, and it's my first and last name at gmail.com. So should I spell
Very
it
good.
out?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
OliveeraRadisic at gmail.com.
Fantastic.
I'm not really too private. I like people a lot, but yeah, I just.
Of course you do. I'm just teasing her, everybody, because she ducks out between classes. She disappears. She's always on time, and we always have a great time. Olivera, thank you so much for being with me today, and thank you for thanks for helping our audience understand a little bit more about Pilates. And I'm excited. I'm actually going to be launching a Pilates podcast on top of this podcast as well. So I'm excited. We'll have to have you come back. And I love your story, and I want to thank you so much for being the person who most recently introduced me to Pilates and got me so excited about it. So thank you so much.
It's my great pleasure, Ariel. Thank you for bringing your great energy to our table now, or to the reformer out there.
Awesome. Okay, everybody, so that's going to wrap it up for today. Olivera has been a wonderful guest, and I hope that you can feel my enthusiasm and her expertise in Pilates and maybe embrace that as part of your own self-healing regimen. So until next time, everybody, I'm going to wish you happy healing.